city reeked with the stench of 1,000 broken promises. Baltimore in the winter is a bleak and unforgiving place, offering no respite from the monotony of the rat race. Day after day, working for scraps to feed yourself while the men at the top get fat off your labor. All you can do is claw, scratch, fight, and bargain for survival. Nothing is given to you. But that was about to change. My boss at the newspaper assigned me to write a story about Vera Dolce Cartier Dior, an acclaimed fashion designer who was touring the East Coast to expand her preeminence in the fashion world. Cartier Dior was richer than God and traveled with her prized Jewel of Venice necklace, valued at over $1 million in a story done by Cosmopolitan last year. What was merely a display of affluence to her could change my life. This was my opportunity, and I wasn't going to waste it. I arrived at the address that my cousin Walter had given me, my heart racing. I'd met famous criminals before, but this one wasn't a politician like the rest. Moose Pike was a notorious confidence man and a skilled thief. If I was going to successfully pull this job off, I needed his help.
Miss Crane, he's been expecting you. Miss Crane, sir.
Take a seat.
Mr. Pike, it is truly an honor to meet you.
You can skip the flattery, lady. Time is money, and money is life. Life is fleeting, and so is my patience. You came to do business, so do it.
Quite right. I'm a journalist with the Baltimore Sun.
Your idiot cousin told me all this already. You're wasting my time. Get to the point, or get the hell out.
I'm sorry. This week I have an interview with Vera Dolce Cartier Dior about her 5 cities in 5 weeks East Coast fashion tour.
Cartier Dior? You're after the Jewel of Venice.
It's worth $1 million.
It's worth more than that if you know the right buyers. So what's your play?
I have proximity and opportunity. Vera always has the Jewel of Venice with her, and I'll be sitting 4 feet away from her. But I've never done anything like this before. And I can't just rip it off her neck and attempt a getaway. She has far too much protection. And I have no desire to go to prison like my foolish father and brainless brother.
So you're telling me that you have a golden opportunity to pull off the heist of a lifetime, but you have no idea what you're doing because you're inexperienced and incapable of designing a successful, coherent plan. If you're trying to convince me that I should help you, you're doing a rotten job.
I'm willing to offer 40%.
40%? Sweetheart, if you think that you can come into Moose Pike's office and offer him 40%, you're more delusional than FDR. Make it 50 and we can talk.
Fine. You have yourself a deal.
And you have yourself $500,000. Clarence, a bourbon for me and my new associate.
So what's the plan? I considered bribing her assistant, Monty Van Wilsdorf. He is Vera's main protection and never far from her side. He would surely apprehend me if I stole the necklace. I've taken the liberty of acquiring his contact information.
We're not using her assistant.
Oh, why not?
Well, if he's too loyal to Cartier Dior, there goes the whole ball game. But even if he's willing to work with us, that's another percentage of the job that you're just handing away. I never was good at sharing.
Oh, well, if not bribing Van Wilsdorf, then what would you suggest?
You worry about what questions you'll ask Cartier Dior during your interview, and let me worry about how we'll acquire the necklace.
I hope you don't underestimate my contribution to this operation.
And I hope that you don't overestimate my patience. A toast to our new partnership.
May we be richly rewarded.
That night, Moose calculated the potential of countless different methods to procure the Jewel of Venice. The more bourbons Clarence poured us, the more energized he became. He was truly a brilliant crook, and the more he spoke, the more I began to be filled with optimism. I wouldn't have to spend the rest of my life in this dank, damp, musty old city. This luxurious necklace was my ticket out, and I had to make the best of it. I felt alive for the first time since I held Vivian Forbes' head under the water of the school fountain until she passed out. Soon, I could quit my dead-end job, quit settling for dull, unremarkable, unimaginative men, and quit this city. Wherever Miss Cartier Dior was, I hoped she was enjoying her last days of extravagance with the Jewel of Venice resting on her bosom.
Got a light? That's a beautiful necklace.
Thank you.
Your husband must be a very wealthy man to afford such a stunning adornment.
Husband? Hardly.
You're not married then?
No, I wouldn't dream of being tied down to a tired old institution like marriage.
So you must have inherited your wealth.
Oh, darling, this is 1944. If the war proves to us anything, it's that a woman can stand on her own 2 feet. No male required.
I have no doubt that's true, although I fear you underestimate the challenges we face as women in this society.
Nonsense. The only limits you face are the limits you put upon yourself. Look at me. I was nobody, but I made something of myself. Never doubt you can do the same. You have everything you need to succeed. You are smart, strong, and young, not to mention gorgeous.
My goodness, thank you so much. I've actually always dreamed of owning my own...
Yes. I'm sure you will be wildly successful. Now go and shine, darling. And don't let anybody tell you what you can or can't achieve.
Thank you.
What a totally hopeless, dull, and unoriginal girl. I can't wait to leave this place. It's a miserable little city full of miserable little people.
Well, these miserable little people treat you like royalty. And they'll be lining up to buy your new designs after tomorrow night's show.
Shut up, Monty. I know why I'm on this damned tour. Just because this trip is to my own advantage doesn't mean I can't complain about the wretched people I meet.
Right. I'm sorry. I forgot how ordinary people drain you so.
You would know. You drain me every day. Speaking of unbearably simple people, have you set up the meeting with the tiresome priest?
Yes, I've scheduled it for tomorrow. Before your meeting with the reporter from the Baltimore Sun.
You know, you are useless most of the time, Monty, but you do have your moments.
Well, meeting the voluminous needs of an avaricious woman like yourself is no mean feat.
What is that supposed to mean?
I simply meant that you are a woman of refined taste and certainly a higher calling. So, what I really meant was, you're far from ordinary.
Quite right, Monty. You do best to remember that.
How could I forget? Now, the car is waiting outside, and we should definitely go before another ordinary accosts you.
As I walked through the quiet city streets, I contemplated the decided upon plan to steal Vera's necklace. I became so preoccupied that I almost missed the alley to which Moose had directed me. I was on my way to meet a jeweler who Moose praised as the best in the business when it comes to making replica jewel pieces. She'd play a crucial role in our operation, and it was important that I didn't keep her waiting.
Eunice Lowles? So, you're Moose's new partner in crime.
Nice to meet you.
Cut the niceties. What do you want from me?
A necklace. A fabulous, lavish necklace.
No need to get randy about it. Does the necklace have a name?
Are you familiar with the Jewel of Venice?
Cartier Dior's most prized possession? The necklace Queen Victoria wore on the 10th anniversary of her coronation?
Cut the questions. Can you make it or not?
You learn quick. When do you need it by?
The setup's tomorrow at 6. We need it delivered to Moose's office by 5.
How courteous of you for informing me so far in advance. What's my cut?
5%.
5%? Lady, it'll take at least 5% to make the damn thing. I need at least 10%.
The highest I can go is 7.
Make it 8, you have yourself a deal.
Fine. See you tomorrow at 5. As I left my meeting with Lowles, I felt more confident than ever that in less than a day, I'd have enough money to escape this pathetic city forever. All of the pieces were falling into place for our heist. Vera would never see it coming.
I don't see why you can't come to New York with me, Monty.
I told you, some business has come up and I have to attend to it. I'll meet you in New York when I'm done. In the meantime, I'm sure Clyde is fully capable of assuming my role for a couple of days.
Some business? Don't play games with me, Monty. God, all you do is stand there all day. A trained monkey could take your place.
That's ideal. I think Clyde's intellect is about equivalent to a trained monkey. Perhaps my absence will make you truly appreciate all it is I actually do for you every single day.
Oh, Monty, don't be clever. It doesn't suit you. And where's this dense, prosaic priest?
Miss Cartier Dior?
Father!
First.
Hurst, how lovely to finally meet you in person.
The pleasure is all mine. I look forward to working together to better our communities. Your patronage will touch so many lives.
Oh, you are too kind.
Can we go to my office so we can talk about your patronage further?
Yes, lead the way. I must speak briefly with my assistant, but I will be right behind you.
Take all the time you need.
My God, I swear I've never met a man I've been attracted to less. Except you, maybe. What a repulsive, disgusting, repelling old man.
Well, if you feel that way, I can't understand why you're insisting on donating so much to his dusty old church.
I hardly expect you to understand how maintaining a positive public image works. When it news leaks that I have donated generously to a church, the more religious type will be positively giddy to get their hands on original Cartier Dior designs.
I don't know. You're putting a lot of faith in the blind religiosity of America.
What is faith but putting trust in a higher power and looking to them for guidance? That is what I provide to these simpletons who have no idea how to even clothe themselves. Let me be their god.
You already are. You tell them what to buy, how much makeup to wear, and even who to love. To them, you're perfect. You are the divine.
Then welcome to the Church of Cartier Dior.
Miss Lowles.
Miss Lewis?
Do you have it?
Eunice, you have outdone yourself.
Some of my best work. Stunning, isn't it?
Not half as stunning as the woman who crafted it.
Your flattery is as cheap as my share in this job.
And your words are bitter, but your eyes betray your tender, longing heart.
Sir?
Lilith, are you ready?
Ready as I'll ever be.
Remember, you must have the necklace out of her hands at 6:10. when Clarence causes the distraction. If you fail, this has all been a waste of time. Don't let me down.
Don't worry, I won't. As Clarence and I set off to the interview, I felt both excited and nervous. If all went to plan and I was able to switch the real necklace for the fake one, I would be a rich woman. But if I failed, I shuddered to think what Moose would do to me. The cold city wind cut through my coat and slapped my face as we trudged to the most important interview of my life. When we arrived, Clarence stayed outside, where he would wait until causing the distraction. As I entered, I was greeted by Vera's disaffected assistant, who took my coat and guided me to the room where Vera was waiting. It was 6 o'clock sharp, which meant I had 10 minutes to get her to take off the necklace. I bided my time, asking unrelated questions and gaining a rapport with her, until it was almost time. That's truly a sensational necklace. Does it have a story?
Oh, darling. This is the Jewel of Venice. It dates back centuries.
That's remarkable. I've never seen anything quite like it before.
And you never will again. It's one of a kind, darling.
That would make a wonderful interest piece for my article. Do you think I could have a closer look?
I'm the only one who's worn this since it was gifted by Queen Victoria to Francis Joseph of the Austro-Hungarian Empire.
I would never dream of wearing it, but perhaps I could hold it, just to try to understand the piece a little better.
I suppose. Be sure not to damage it. It's worth more than your entire family.
I would dream. It's breathtaking.
Miss Cartier-Dior, are you all right?
I'm fine, Monty. What the hell is happening out there?
I don't know. It sounds like someone fired a gun.
What is the point of view, you feckless twit? I'm sorry, I simply cannot continue this interview. I'm far too shaken.
I completely understand.
Miss?
Thank you so much for your time. The plane went off without a hitch. I was elated, filled with the kind of joy that I realized only comes after a successful heist. As Monty helped me don my coat, I tried to contain my smile. I met Clarence outside, and he told me to go ahead to Moose's hideout without him. As I briskly strolled down the streets, my thoughts wandered to what my life would be like after Moose fenced the Jewel of Venice and I got my cut. Fabulous dinners in elaborate mansions, pricey champagne, any man I wanted, and freedom. Freedom from my futile job, freedom from my impoverished family, and freedom from this monotonous city. The world was now at my fingertips. The Jewel of Venice was in my possession, and soon I would be richer and happier than any of the pathetic socialites in this drab city. I slowed down when I arrived at Moose's hideout, trying to collect myself and tame my giddy excitement.
That was fast. Do you have it?
Yes. And Vera is none the wiser that her neck is currently adorned with nothing more than a cheap replica of her pride and joy.
Let's see it then. Come along now.
What?
Are you trying to pull something over on us?
No, I swear I don't understand. It was right here. You stupid girl!
Where's Clarence?
He told me to go on ahead. He said he had some loose ends to tie up. I considered bribing her assistant, Monty Van Wilsdorf. I have taken the liberty of acquiring his contact information.
We're not using her assistant.
The winter air was as cold and unforgiving as my callous mother, and the empty streets I walked down seemed to echo the emptiness I felt in my heart. We had been double-crossed, and I had lost my ticket out of this godforsaken city. As I made my way back to my small, noxious apartment, I realized that I would be tormented for years to come by my egregious failure that night. And I would long be haunted by dreams of the beautiful bejeweled necklace that had so briefly been mine. Dreams of the Jewel of Venice.
Failed jewel heist?
How did you know?
Been there, girl. Listen, I've got a heist planned and it's completely bonkers. You in?
Absolutely.
One question. Have you ever been to federal prison?
Do pigs get out in January?
Hell yes, Queen. Let's go!